Today I want to talk about signs of unresolved trauma. So, so you can try to look at. It is not to judge anybody. I'm not trying to judge you that okay, this is your own. No, just for you to be aware of the things that are going on. Maybe this is why you act the way you act. Maybe this is why you respond the way you respond. That is just it. So trauma doesn't have to announce itself. Have to be it doesn't have to show up in obvious symptoms because sometimes it can hide itself behind behaviors that are misunderstood, labeled, or judged as personality flaws. You can tell yourself this is where you are. This I'm just this kind of person, whereas it is trauma that is speaking. So what many people see as being a difficult person is just an emotional person, is a distant person, you always overreact. They may just be survival responses that we have developed over time. So they don't necessarily have to be the way we are. But these responses began as a way by which we learned to cope with overwhelming situations right from childhood, probably because our needs were not met emotionally. So unresolved trauma can show up in different ways. For example, when you have this feeling of constantly pleasing other people, even when you know that these people can disappoint you, you don't want to leave them. You just want to be good. You want them to see you as good. And when you find it difficult to trust other people, even those who are safe, you still find it difficult to trust them. It is trauma that is doing that. When you feel disconnected, you don't want to be emotional towards people, you don't want to be vulnerable, you just want to be numb. People are in pains, they are dying around you. You just have this feeling of I don't care. I don't care what happens to them. That is trauma. Avoiding conflict at all costs. So because you want to avoid conflict, you don't want problem, you do everything that everybody wants just because you don't want to have conflict with anyone. That is what it is, trauma. But there are ways to resolve those conflicts. Always aim for resolving conflict amicably, peacefully, without shaming or judging anyone. That is what we aim for. And when you have perfectionism, no mistake, you even fear making mistake. Like you dread it, you don't want to make any mistake. You start to pant and rant because you don't want to make mistake. That could be a trauma that is speaking. When you have difficulty setting healthy boundaries, this is the time I pick calls. After this time, I don't pick call. After this time, I don't see patients any longer. If you have it difficult to even, if you have this blurry line between your work and place between this and your family, it could be trauma that is speaking. Another one is if you have this chronic anxiety, hypervigilance, you're very paranoid, always suspecting others, or sometimes you expect the worst of all situation. In everything that is happening, you always expect the worst. I'm not saying that you look at the worst thing that can happen or you look at the best thing, but you are always expecting the worst in every situation. It's trauma that is speaking in that sense. And also when you have self-sabotaging opportunities, good things come your way but you use your hand to destroy it. It can never be me. So that you have been given appointment to work somewhere, somebody have given you the good news, and after some time you're happy at first and you feel like this can never be me. You thought the letter, you said no, you cannot expect, you cannot receive it, this and that, or even if you started the work but you eventually did things that will make you to be sent out of that job, or you made mistakes that will just self-sabotaging opportunity, use your hand to tear down your goodness. That is, even relationships, even success. You enter into a good relationship, you use your own mouth, your deeds, your behavior to spoil them. It is trauma that is doing all those. When you withdraw from other people, when you have fear of rejection, fear of being abandoned, fear of people leaving you, those behaviors are not just signs of weakness, they are not character flaws. They are trauma. They are signs that someone has learned to survive situations that felt unsafe, situations that were unpredictable. You have learned to survive overwhelming situations. That is what they are just saying. So when you understand this, it doesn't excuse harmful behaviors. It does not excuse harmful situations. It's just that it helps you to approach yourself and other people with greater compassion You don't just label them or judge them like that. Instead of you saying that, what is wrong with you? Are you mad? Is something happening to you? You want to asking them, what happened to you? What happened to me? Why am I behaving the way I'm behaving? And so I want to ask you, what behavior do people often criticize without understanding the pain behind it? People can easily judge that this person is too quiet, you don't like to talk, but we don't know the pain behind that. Have you ever realized that a behavior was judged even in you or someone else, but actually it was connected to a deeper wound? I want you to share in the comments. Have a nice